The following is a presentation of the World Baseball Classic.
Shohei Ohtani, 1 of 1.
¡Siéntate! Lo retrata sin sonrisa.
Gone! George has arrived. Good night now. Santa Maria. High and deep and gone.
World Baseball Classic. You get it all.
All right, let's get rolling from Houston. Day 3, we started with Great Britain and Italy. Oh, the sights and the sounds, the stuff we've seen. Great Britain has shown spunk and great defense. Yeah, the eating's good. And for Italy, it's power and espresso. Of course. Drink it all in. It's the World Baseball Classic. And that's our matchup to start the day. Standings, Pool B, United States 2-0. Italy has played just one game. Their schedule gets a little tougher, but they have Great Britain today, and the Brits are looking for their first win. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz, along with Dan Plesac. John Morosi joins us shortly. This is day 3. Oh, what things we've seen so far. USA looks good, Mexico looks good, and it looks like Italy could challenge both.
Yeah, in this Pool B, 3 teams I feel have separated themselves. Italy, Mexico, and the United States. Italy yesterday, tremendous pitching performance, and Team USA last night, 17 strikeouts, Tarek Skubal leading the way, and Mexico, and they look like they're a very, very formidable foe.
This is a European matchup here, and we start with Italy. Their first game against Brazil, and Sam Aldegheri really set the tone.
4 2/3, 8 strikeouts. He set the tone, pounded the strike zone, had a terrific changeup. Francisco Cervelli there giving him a nice pat on the cheek, and they brought some thunder and brought some power.
Yes, here comes the homers, and here comes the espresso. Sometimes it's a little hot. Dante Nori hit the first. Dom Canzone hit the longest. That was way up there, and then Nori wasn't done.
Yeah, but fortunately for Team Italy, they were able to get the brew right in the temperature. Vinny Pasquantino, the brewmaster, cooled that temperature down, and Nori says, this is a lot better, much more drinkable.
Ambitious matchup for Great Britain last night against Team USA. But you know what? Had a pretty good start to it, right? I mean, they're facing Tarek Skubal. Nate Eaton says, I'm going after the first pitch. Ambush.
First pitch of the game kind of rocks Team USA's world. Team USA has had some difficulty throughout the WC giving up home runs in the first inning.
Great Britain's had great defense. Second terrific catch by Trace Thompson.
Trace Thompson, this was a terrific catch. One of the better ballparks here, Dyken Park, to rob home runs, that short wall in right field.
You really like this guy, the 24-year-old Najir Victor.
Boy, last night it was what's your vector, Victor. He was bringing it 96, 97 miles an hour. Good hard slider to go with it right there. Stepped in a big old bucket of sassy.
And this was a big blow there. That gave USA the lead. Schwarber's home run, and they would go on to win the ball game. So the scene is set for this afternoon. This is a European rivalry, and with more on that, John Morosi.
Rich, thanks very much. The game in Europe is growing. Those were the words of Italian manager Francisco Cervelli earlier today, and to cite that reality, he mentioned his opponents this afternoon. Team Great Britain, reigning champions of Europe in the under-23 division. They won this gold medal last summer, and Cervelli complimented Bradley Marcelino's team on how often they play, the emphasis on development, because for so many decades, the kings of European baseball have been the Netherlands and Italy, which at the last World Baseball Classic reached all the way to the quarterfinal at the Tokyo Dome, where they, unfortunately for them, ran into Shohei Ohtani and Samurai Japan. But consider this, the gap may be closing. Team Japan is indeed 3-0 in this classic, but they've been out-hit in each of their last 2 games. Meanwhile, this Italian lineup and roster much deeper than it was 3 years ago. As Sal Fasano, one of the Italian coaches, told me, we might not have the tallest roster, but we're really athletic. We're like a bunch of midfielders, like Gennaro Gattuso, the great Italian midfielder a couple decades ago. Well, the center of this field is the pitching mound. And there this afternoon, Dylan DeLucia will throw the first pitch for La Squadra Italiana, the Azzurri. Lineups and first pitch from Houston are next. This is the World Baseball Classic.
Look who's leading off again. Just last night, Nate Eaton blasted the first pitch he saw from Tarek Skubal for a home run. Here is Great Britain's lineup. This is tough. Day game after night game. Let's see how the Brits bounce back. Eaton, Chisholm, Ford, Murray, Johnson, Robinson, Koperniak, Thompson, and Lewis. And Trace Thompson's defense in both games has been outstanding. What you got on Dylan DeLucia?
Not a very big guy, 5'11", 210 pounds. This guy was a 6th-round draft choice by the Cleveland Guardians. Go back to his college days at Ole Miss. Most outstanding player in the College World Series in 2022. Had a couple of starts in the College World Series. 2-0. Allowed 1 run in 16 innings pitched. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 17. Had Tommy John surgery in the spring of 23. Made his minor league debut shortly afterwards in June of 24. Guy with a big arm, low to mid-90s fastball, a terrific changeup and a slider to go along with it.
What are the odds that Eaton gets a first pitch fastball?
If Team Italy was watching last night, I would say slim to none. But I will say this, DeLucia loves his fastball and he likes to throw it.
That's becoming a great tradition here in Houston. Good way to start it. DeLucia, first pitch, not a fastball.
Slider that Team Italy was watching last night. When you have some great minds like Francisco Cervelli, their managers say, hey, this guy jumps on the first pitch heater.
Smacks that into left field. Nori slides and he doesn't get it. It rolls by him into the gap. And Eaton leads this game off with a double.
Nori left his feet. I'm not sure. He may have lost this in the lights. It looked like he had a pretty good beat on it. You can see almost right when he gets to it, Rich, he almost turns away from it. Looks like he tracks this thing really well. Then I think he loses at the end. See how he turns his head towards the outfield wall just in case this ball wouldn't hit him in the face.
And so Great Britain, sensing that this is an opportunity, this game here, if you're Great Britain, is one that you've circled on the schedule and say, look, we got a shot here. They're trying to get off to a good start. Frustrating start for Jazz Chisholm. He's 0 for 9 with 5 strikeouts so far.
Yeah, last night Great Britain only had one runner in scoring position. But boy, they ran into a powerhouse pitching outfit in Team USA. Tarek Skubal and a bevy of relievers. 17 strikeouts for Team USA last night. In case you're wondering, a day game here, how a ball could be lost in the lights with this roof here. You have the lights much like they would be in a Major League Stadium. If that ball is hitting the right spot, it makes it tough for an outfielder. If the ball's hitting that light standard.
The schedules for these, there's a good look at the lights as they bank around. The roof has been closed throughout here in Houston. 2-1 pitch to Chisholm. And it's up. The schedules are really opposite for these two teams. Great Britain sees the best of this pool to begin with, and they finish with Brazil. Italy sees the best at the end, their last 2 games.
And it kind of sets up really well for Team Italy.
Soft one, late jump by Marcy, and it's going to land for a base hit. And Eaton will hold at third. I think the swing may have fooled Jacob Marcy in center field.
Yeah, it almost appeared that he broke back on it. Kind of hitting that triangle, that Bermuda Triangle out there in short right center field. Ball was up there for quite a bit. You can see off the bat, you see center fielder breaking back, and he just doesn't have enough closing speed to get there. Talking about with Italy, with their draw, their 2 main pitchers, they're able to save Aaron Nola and Michael Lorenzen for later on in this tournament.
And DeLucia, as you noted, a college star at Ole Miss and a solid starter for the Rays in Double-A last year, is a pretty good weapon to fire here in this game. And here's Harry Ford. Ford homered in the first game in the loss against Mexico. At the corners, nobody out.
Take a look at the numbers in the College World Series for DeLucia. 2 starts, was 2-0. 16 2/3, only 8 hits allowed, 1 run. 17 strikeouts, no walks.
That's a pop-up. And that's a great pitch. And a big out to get if you're Italy.
First and third and nobody out. You make a good pitch. Probably get the best hitter to pop up in Harry Ford. 1 pitch away with that double play in order. Getting out of an inning.
Now B.J. Murray, the first baseman. He's at it again. This is his 3rd painting of the Classic. And a throw to first. Chisholm back in. There's a strike. DeLucia actually drafted by the Indians. Great Britain starter, Owen Wild, property of the Rays. Let's straighten that out. Breaky ball misses down low. Murray's 1 for 6. This is game 3 for Great Britain. The loss to Mexico 8-2. But it was a 1-1 game going into the 8th. And then last night, the loss to Team USA. But it was a 1-1 game going into the 5th.
Yeah, that was really a good game last night. Great catch by Trace Thompson, robbing a would-be home run. Team Great Britain was flashing some leather through 5 innings. Some anxious moments last night for Team USA. Scored their first run on a wild pitch, and then that big Schwarber two-run bomb.
Runner goes, pitch is low, throw is high, and he's in there. A stolen base. Great Britain puts the game in motion, and now second and third. One out and a 2-2 count on Murray.
Great jump. You can see he has a little bit of a walking lead. He beats it fairly easy.
So you got really good speed out there. Chisholm at second, Eaton at third, infield's back. Big pitch here, swing, and a miss.
Terrific changeup. That's really DeLucia's best off-speed pitch. He had a good one when he was pitching at Ole Miss. Good slider, but the changeup is his bread and butter. Great arm action. You see he sells it right there, that tumble action. Like a lot of guys, more of that split finger grip. Able to get Murray out in front. Key to that pitch, good arm action, and throw it out the same arm slot you throw the fastball out of.
Now this is a big at bat for Yvonne Johnson, who, as we noted, Great Britain struggling to score against Mexico and USA, and a huge opportunity here. DeLucia trying to pitch out of it. Johnson's 1 for 7 in his 2 games.
Several breaking balls, a boatload of sliders from DeLucia here in the first inning. It's a spot you'd like to be in, have a couple of pitches you can play around with. You want to use that changeup and try to get it down and away and fade it down away, or bury a breaking ball down and in. Elected to go with a 4-seam fastball, well located too. Fans still waking up too. That's that day game after a night game, Rich. That guy's trying to figure out what inning we're in.
Ball gets loose. Eaton's coming home. 1-0, Great Britain.
Right now, Great Britain will take a run any way they can get it. A little bit of a disappointment from DeLucia. So close to pitching out of trouble. You can see the slider bounces about 8 to 10 inches in front of home plate. Not much that DeRazio can do. You try to get in front of it and knock it down.
Now Chisholm's at third. And Johnson takes just out. You could see it was off the zone. David Arrieta out of Venezuela is the home plate umpire. Adrian Johnson at first. Alex Tosi at second. Zdenek Zedek is at third base. Now the 2-2. In the dirt. That one gets away. Chisholm will score.
Not sure how that will be scored. More than likely a pass ball. I don't think this ball bounced. DeRazio just kind of airmailed it and whiffed on it. Another look at it right here. That does bounce right in front of home plate. Didn't do a very good job of trying to keep it out of that 5-hole right between the wickets.
How much of that is that DeRazio hasn't really worked with DeLucia much at all?
Well, the problem is with 2 strikes, and if you're calling for an off-speed pitch as a catcher, you really want to be heads up. You have to almost expect that if the ball's going to be down, I'm going to be able to block it. I'm sure he'll have a little conversation with Francisco Cervelli.
Well, it's not like Italy lacks for any coaching talent as far as the catcher position. There's Jorge Posada. He was really good. There's Francisco Cervelli. He was really good. And there's Sal Fasano, who was a terrific defensive catcher in his major league career.
Yeah, and yesterday, Kyle Teal was behind the plate for Team Italy. Promising young catcher in the White Sox organization. Played terrifically last year for the White Sox in his major league debut. You try to give everybody on your roster a chance to play. You kind of feel if you're Team Italy right now, you've handed Great Britain a couple of runs.
So Johnson's at first. Robinson lifts that one into left center. Marcy is there and makes the catch. Great Britain scratches out a couple runs, and we're underway. Pool B in Houston. Park, home of the Astros, home of the World Baseball Classic Pool B. Dante Nori had a night last night, 3 for 3, couple homers and a double, and 3 shots of espresso.
And the last one was the best one. There you look at that 4-hole that sticks out. Dominic Canzone, some big-time power. This is a team in Italy that can knock the ball out of the ballpark. They hit 3 home runs in their first game yesterday. Solid pitching too yesterday from Team Italy.
Nori in the leadoff spot. You got Jacob Marcy and Vinny Pasquantino. That's 1, 2, 3 for Italy. Their lineup has some changes. We've talked about D'Orazio behind the plate. Miles Mastrobuoni getting a start at shortstop as well. Good fastball. It's 1-1.
94 miles an hour from Owen Wild. 7th round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Rays. A Gonzaga University product.
Go Zags. Nori fouls it back to the screen. Nori, the Toronto native. John Morosi had just that great report about his dad, the assistant GM of the Timberwolves. Fastball up and in. He's made it. His grandfather, an assistant baseball coach at Indiana. We talked about the Schwarber connection. Chopper picked by Murray. Gets the out. JP, lot to like there.
Emotional reunion earlier today as well. Micah Nori, as you mentioned, assistant coach, Minnesota Timberwolves. They played a game yesterday in Minneapolis against the Magic. He hustled down here. There's Dante getting a chance to see his grandparents before this game as well. Immense pride. When I spoke with Dante after the game yesterday, he said, my dad's probably going to have some tears. certainly you saw a lot of emotion on the faces of the Norrie family here today.
JP, is that the grandfather that was the assistant at Indiana?
Yes, indeed. So a really great sporting family, as you mentioned. The Norrie family in both baseball and basketball. There's that connection even to the Schwarber family too. So multi-generations of great athletes there.
Marcy with a liner over the middle, and Lewis had him played perfectly and has it. That's a loud out. But a couple quick outs here for Owen Wild.
Yeah, Owen Wild's been very impressive. We saw last night they were very aggressive attacking Team USA. Certainly weren't intimidated. Wild following same suit, not afraid to get the ball into the strike zone.
Pasquantino now.
Our own John Paul, J.P. Morosi was on top of that. You and I were wondering if that was a bad brew of espresso. Actually, it was bad temperature, scalding hot.
I think as the game went on, they were dialing in the right temp, maybe the right texture.
You could tell the second home run that Norrie hit, he took that thing and just chugged it right down.
High pop-up. Johnson's over, and he's got room, and he makes the catch. And the Gonzaga Bulldog looks good early. 2-0, Great Britain.
The best against the best.
What do you know about this baseball? Where samurai swing bats. Here, teammates become opponents. Anyone can be a superhero. And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball, with nothing held back. Expect everything.
It's a home run hitter, and of course they've got the Kingsguard hat that they put on. I'm not sure if that's the right term, hat, but that's been the outfit for a home run hitter for Great Britain in this World Baseball Classic. Bottom third of the order, Matt Koperniak, Trace Thompson, Ian Lewis. There's the hat. We saw Harry Ford sporting that around. Koperniak got a start in game 1 against Mexico. Pinch hitting appearance last night against USA.
I know you had some buddies on the other side across the pond watching the game last night from a pub in England.
And the first, I'll bet you that, I'll bet you the spirits were pretty darn high the first 5.5 innings.
Boy, how about that? Particularly after that catch by Trace Thompson robbing a home run. Interesting if you can text your buddies and see if they're enjoying some beverages on a Sunday afternoon across the pond.
without a doubt. JP's usually dialed in on the pub crawl when it comes to World Baseball Classic. 2 runs in the first. Oh, I bet. All right. Yeah, it's still early.
That's not a shocker.
It's still early here. The day game after a night game for Great Britain, and with daylight savings time, somehow we've lost an hour. Here's the 3-2. It's fouled back. We got to wake up later, but we actually woke up earlier.
Yeah, that was one of those. I didn't like that exchange rate last night. Get back to the hotel, tried to get a workout in. Next thing you know, I'm better get to sleep. It's 1 o'clock. Next thing I looked, it was already 2 o'clock.
Koperniak strikes out, down to Jon Morosi.
One of my favorite questions to ask during the Classic is this: have you been to the country that you are representing? Well, in the case of Dylan DeLucia, the answer is a resounding yes. What a beautiful trip. There you see the Roman Coliseum on a quiet night. Who gets a chance to get in there when there's almost no one else in the beautiful Coliseum dating back about 2,000 years? So it is, when you think about Great Britain and Italy, there are certainly some players that grew up in the states that represent these nations, but you really do tell from the WBC experience, Rich and Dan, a renewed sense of pride in their heritage and a desire to visit their countries of origin. It really is the enduring gift of the World Baseball Classic.
Without question. Trace Thompson now. Thompson, a couple hits in the Classic. His biggest contributions have been on that right field wall here. Twice he's gone up, robbing a homer from Will Smith last night. And in game 1, he was almost at full speed, had to reach up backhand and then crash in and held the ball for a spectacular catch.
Yeah, there's an old saying in baseball, he's what they look like. When you get a chance to watch Thompson in the outfield, you can tell that he's had some major league experience. Knows where to go, tracks fly balls, knows where the wall is. Very accurate thrower. You can play him at just about any outfield position. Tremendous defensive player.
Hits that one to center pretty well. Marcy going back, and he makes the catch. And there's 2 outs. This may feel like, hey, it's the first game of the day, the crowd's still coming in, but for Italy, the 2 runs in the first inning, that kind of turns the pressure up on them. They have high hopes of advancing here, and if they're going to do that, this is a game they have to win.
Yeah, and really the schedule was in Team Italy's favor. They were off on day 1. They played yesterday, the second day in Pool B, and they have their 2 best pitchers lurking, Aaron Nola and Michael Lorenzen. Not that you try to look too far ahead, but I think they're probably in a little bit of sticker shock right now. They didn't see themselves being down 2-0 here in the second inning.
Pop-ups out of play.
That's why we talked to Team USA manager Mark DeRosa yesterday. You can have all these great plans and how you think it's going to shake out. Sometimes you have to go to plan B and plan C.
Well, I think the depth of Italy's rotation has been on display because Aldegari was outstanding. Sam struck out 8 4 2/3. The lefty facing Brazil yesterday. And DeLucia is a guy that can get you 4 or 5 really good innings.
Yeah, DeLucia's stuff is really good. Unfortunately, a couple of wild pitches. Was 1 pitch away from really getting out of a boatload of trouble. Team Italy kind of gifted Great Britain both of their runs in the first inning on wild pitches.
Before the wild pitches, the Italy outfield didn't do him any favors.
Right, a ball lost in the lights in left field, a high pop-up in center field.
Lewis at the plate, one of the many Great Britain players out of the Bahamas. Two-2, that one is held, and it's strike 3. 2-0, Great Britain. To try to get that espresso machine going. The 3 home runs, that was the tradition in game 1. You get a shot of espresso at the end of the dugout. And this is a guy that got a big shot of it.
Boy, yesterday he hit a no-doubter right off the get-go. You can see why the Mariners are so excited about what this guy brings to the table. Very physical presence in the box for Team Italy.
Canzone, and those 11 home runs came in just 82 games last year. That's a strike. He and Schwarber's home run kind of ended up in the same vicinity yesterday.
Well, that home run that Schwarber hit last night. This Daikin Park was a little bit subdued, kind of in a little bit of shock after that leadoff home run, but after that home run by Kyle Schwarber, this place opened up and it was crazy here for a couple innings last night. Got back to the hotel and I was just kind of looking through that line score, how impressive that pitching was for Team USA last night. 17 strikeouts, no walks. Clay Holmes was terrific. He pitched 3 powerhouse scoreless innings. Brad Keller closed things out with a final couple of strikeouts.
Owen Wild punches out Dominic Canzone. That's got to be cool for Wild, who played at Gonzaga. That's Mariner territory, the state of Washington.
Boy, this is a well-located four-seam fastball. Just splits the glove of Harry Ford. All he has to do is hold that glove up, and Owen Wild delivered on point. Good breaking ball right there. First pitch slider, 86 miles an hour. Locate the fastball, have command of the secondary pitches. It's usually a pretty good recipe.
Oh, 1 pitch. DeZenzo. Johnson a short hop and gets the out.
Right.
You know what could have been last night. That error opened up the floodgates for Team USA in the 5th inning. It's a pretty nifty play right here. He has to come get it before it takes that short hop. Strong, accurate throw. 2 quick outs.
Sam Antonacci, the 23-year-old out of Coastal Carolina University, Springfield native. Last 2 years in the minor leagues with the White Sox. This guy walks a lot, low strikeout, and he can play everywhere.
Owen Wild peppered that strike zone. That was his 20th pitch, 16 of them for strikes. Putting on a pitching clinic.
Wild in the rotation in Montgomery in Double-A. Last year, 23 starts, a 4.71 ERA. He went from being a Bulldog at Gonzaga to a Biscuit.
1-2.
At least I believe they're still named the Biscuits. We have a research staff that usually cleans up my mess. So. Wow, look at this.
I'm going to steal a line from you, Owen. Born to be wild.
2-0. Brits on top.
Here we go. 5, 4.
At MLB Network, covering baseball isn't just what we do, it's who we are.
You're about to be entertained and amazed. So I just want to show you a few at-bats, because it was incredible.
Connecting fans to the game is in our DNA.
Welcome, everyone, to MLB Tonight, the national pregame show.
He added 2 new pitches this year.
In season.
Hello, family.
Off season.
Not every day we hand out Cy Young awards.
Every season.
That's how we do it here.
This is MLB Network, the home of baseball.
It's an interesting start in this ball game here in Houston. Great Britain got 2 runs in the first inning. Back to the top of the order. Nate Eaton doubled. And that started the inning. And Dylan DeLucia starts with a strike. Eaton had the leadoff homer against Skubal last night. Ended up with 3 hits.
I think more importantly, Owen Wild has come out establishing the strike zone, peppering the strike zone, not being intimidated by this Team Italy lineup. It's been impressive to watch.
Hit pretty hard, cut off there by Fisher, across the diamond to get the out. Fisher getting his first start in the World Baseball Classic. He's a youngster, 21-year-old.
Pretty simple play to make when you have a guy the size of Vinny Pasquantino at first base. Nice play there with that eye black on.
He's just out of college. He's played just 19 games in the minors. Chisholm now.
It's funny when we talk about that. We had a chance to see young 17-year-old Contreras the other night against Team USA. We're talking about guys young in college. Can you imagine being 17, staring down the barrel of Aaron Judge? Induced him into an inning-ending double play.
Broke his bat.
Yeah. I would have to think when he goes back, once the high school season starts, I don't think he has to fear anybody anymore, right? And I thought one of the coolest parts after that game was over, I was back at the hotel watching, and Aaron Judge couldn't have been more complimentary to that young man, Contreras. And it's so great to see when you have one of the game's elite superstars and a global superstar in this day and age where athletes don't give a lot of credit to, younger players or opponents. He just had nothing but great things to say about Contreras. Not surprising, though. That's the kind of guy that Aaron Judge is.
Without question, no swing there. And just being around Team USA at the start of this pool, you understand why he's the Yankee captain and the Team USA captain. Chisholm lifts that one high in the air. Marcy under it and makes the catch.
We were talking to Mark DeRosa before the game yesterday, manager of Team USA, and one of the writers asked him about the possible day off coming up on Thursday. What were the plans? And he said, Judge wants to work out. What are you going to do? We're going to work out. Simple.
Here's Harry Ford. And a strike. So for Great Britain, they played late into the night last night. And Ford caught his second game of the Classic. He's right back in there for this noon start here in Houston.
Boy, he's going to get a great opportunity to play with the Washington Nationals. Unfortunately, he was blocked with the emergence of the superstar, that being Cal Raleigh in Seattle. I think before it's all said and done, he's going to find himself with a lot of playing time in the nation's capital. Well, you touched on it last night, Rich. When you look at this guy, he has the appearance of being a middle infielder, right? He looks nothing like what a catcher would look like. Very athletic, powerfully built, can run well.
No swing. The comp for me is maybe a little shorter version of JT Realmuto.
I was just thinking the same thing. If you watch Realmuto play, and if you didn't know he was a catcher, you wouldn't have any idea. He doesn't have most of the physical traits of a catcher. Kind of guys that are, heavy trunk, heavy leg guys.
That one just missed. Full count now. And he swings and misses, and DeLucia snaps back to form with another 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the third. Italy at the plate. Bottom third of the order. Owen Wild has retired all 6 that he's faced with 2 strikeouts. And this is Andrew Fisher, 21-year-old. Terrific college run. Swing and a miss there. First round pick of the Brewers, 20th overall. Led the SEC in home runs last season when he popped 25 for Tennessee. And you see those numbers. My guess is he made more money in the SEC than he makes in the minor leagues because he's a portal transfer 3 times. He started at Ole Miss, then to Duke, and then to Tennessee. He fouls that one back, and certainly he's a guy to watch in the next few years.
Yeah, usually the Brewers, they get things right in the first couple of rounds when and where they draft.
Here's the 2-2. As the right field hit pretty well. Thompson again. Not going to get this one. It's gone.
Well, now you see why he changed schools 3 times that bat plays, Rich.
Get the espresso ready for the kid.
Well, he doesn't need any right now. Look at that. Look at Vinny. He's got one of Vinny. Give him half a dose.
Oh, now we got a blazer.
Well, I'm not surprised. He took that. He chugged that whole thing down. Boy, this was gone as soon as it hit it. Elevated up in the zone with that short wall in right field. Trace Thompson had visions of trying to rob another one and bring it back.
And Mom's pretty pumped.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? You get a chance to see your son play in a major league ballpark.
Here's D'Orazio. Wow, what a jolt of energy for Italy. The home run, the trot, which wasn't a trot, it was more of a sprint, and then the espresso.
Yeah, to top it off, this is another well-hit ball to gap in right center field.
D'Orazio, that's gone! Back to back! Viva Italia!
Boy, how quickly things can change. Team Italy behind the 8-ball. Back-to-back home runs from Fisher and D'Orazio, and just like that, we're tied at 2.
I don't know if that machine can kick out another one, but we're going to find out.
Yeah, the brewmaster. There's Vinny. He's ready. D'Orazio a little bit more subdued than Fisher was.
This is a double espresso.
Boy, this is a bullet to the gap in right center field, right into the Team Italy bullpen. That look of disappointment from Owen Wild. Look at Fisher. He didn't need it in espresso.
Oh, I think they've got the formula down now. Well, the bats are awake. Here's Mastrobuoni.
Trying to think maybe with that spring ahead with the time change. They're finally catching up. They're thinking this game started at noon. It actually started at 11 on their body clock, right?
Well, it's a night game in Italy. 2-0. Owen Wild was absolutely cruising. An economy of pitches. Had retired the first 6 he'd faced. Struck out 2 in the second. In the bottom of the order for Italy. Erupting here. And now a walk, the first one issued by Wild.
Boy, Wild cruised through the first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down with a couple of strikeouts. He's run into some problems here in the bottom of the 3rd.
In the bottom of the order, and that's where Norrie was yesterday. He had 3 hits, a double, and 2 homers. And Wild gets a call on that inside breaking ball. Chopper, Chisholm looks at second, goes to first. It gets the out. But scoring position for Mastrobuoni with 1 down. Marcy down. One and no.
See, Owen, his misses are becoming a little bit more wild outside of the strike zone. First couple innings, first 20 pitches, 16 were strikes. Home plate's moving around a little bit on him right now. Tried to get that breaking ball, finds himself behind the count 2-0. It's where you really want to make a good pitch right here. You have to assume that Marseille is swinging. Good eye right there. A lot what we saw last night from Team USA, just up and down that USA lineup. Control the strike zone, very few swings at bad pitches.
Not a lot of first pitch strikes in this inning.
No, then you've got Pasquantino lurking on deck. This is a big out right here for Owen Wild.
To center. Eaton is there. And there's 2 outs. Mastrobuoni still at second. And here comes Pasquantino.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier, even though you have a base open. You have another lefty on deck in Canzone. Another guy that can hit the ball all the ballpark. When Pasquantino is swinging the bat well, this guy has power to all fields. He can take that ball in the outer third and drive it just about out of any ballpark to left center field. This guy has tremendous power.
Andrew Fisher, J.J. DeRazio. Solo homers here.
Last year for the Royals, Pasquantino got off to a little bit of a slow start the first 6 to 8 weeks of the season. Worked on a lot of things in the winter, increased his bat speed. It felt during the first few weeks of the season his timing was just a little bit off, a little jumpy in the box.
High Papa. Chisholm has it, and the inning is over. Double espresso, back-to-back homers. The youngster Andrew Fisher, J.J. DeRazio opposite field. Just like that, it's 2-2.
Baseball and community go hand in hand. And with Pitch, Hit, and Run, you can make a lasting impact. Register to showcase the foundational skills of young athletes from your local community in the official youth skills competition of Major League Baseball, known as Pitch, Hit, and Run. Make an impact today. Pitch, Hit, and Run. Scan the QR code to sign up and host an event.
Boy, this game changed in a hurry. It's 2-2 now. B.J. Murray is up. Takes a running fastball from Dylan DeLucia. That guy, Andrew Fisher, with a long home run in his first World Baseball Classic at bats. And John Morosi, we saw the reaction of Mom. This kid is some prospect.
And the memory of a lifetime for the Fisher family. As you saw Kristen Fisher, Andrew's mother, her reaction, her husband Brian. I spoke with them before the game, and Kristen told me that they last year took a family trip to Salerno, Italy, and the village just outside of Salerno where Kristen's family initially is from. And because of the draft, it was interesting, and Rich talked about Andrew being a draft pick last year. That was during the time in between the draft and when he signed. So the only summer off that Andrew's ever going to have for a long time, he was able to actually join his family on that trip. What a wonderful family they are. Kristen, currently the chief financial officer and head of business operations at Princeton University. She played college softball at Rutgers, and Brian, the longtime head wrestling coach at Wall High School in New Jersey.
Wow, what a family.
Wow, right. That's some resume. There's a look at it right here. This was a no-doubter. Trace Thompson had visions. Look at Mom right there. That's what it's all about.
How awesome is that? All decked out.
She's dialed it back in right now. She's nice and subdued right now.
I like the jersey representation in that group. A lot of Italian jerseys and a Brewers jersey, just to let everybody know.
Yeah, the Brew Crew.
Remember how many pitches Dylan DeLucia threw early. There's the Brewer jersey. Oh, got a couple of them.
Yeah, look at Mom. Still has that smile on her face right now. I think they know they're getting some airtime right now.
66th pitch for DeLucia. Remember, the first two innings were pitch heavy. Now, the pitch limit is 65, but if you get there while you are pitching to a hitter, you can finish that at bat. So Ivan Johnson will be his last hitter.
Boy, the way this shakes out, too, Francisco Cervelli able to get you into the fourth inning. You've got your top two guns, Aaron Nola and Michael Lorenzen, who have yet to pitch in Pool B, set to start the next couple of games.
That's always a delicate dance for a manager in tournaments like this, saying, all right, I'm going to save this guy for this team, save this guy for that team. And then suddenly you're in a game where you wish you had that guy for the other team. Hit pretty hard. Fisher on it. Good strong arm as well. And so that will do it for Dylan DeLucia. 2-2, Great Britain and Italy.
Good evening to all of you watching us from the Pope Street Bar and Kitchen in Greenwich, England. Why is Greenwich, England so important? Well, Rich and Dan, it is the home of Greenwich Mean Time, the prime meridian, and the day after daylight savings time here in the U.S. Actually, for the U.K., their daylight savings happens on March the 29th, so we're actually an hour closer together this afternoon.
I can feel that connection too, JP.
We bring the world together, Rich and Dan, through the World Baseball Classic.
Boy, that's a big drink of water right here. Gabriel Quattrini, 6'4", 260 pounds.
Christian Robinson up. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. If you're just happening by whatever time zone you might be in.
I don't know. I think we found our bodyguard for the rest of Pool B. Guy that's 6'4", 260. He might be able to handle both of us, right? We got to get on this guy's good side.
Yes, right away. Great Britain got 2 runs in the first. And an answer from Italy with 2 solo homers in the bottom of the third. Up the middle, sliding stop. Antonacci, safe. Robinson runs well, and he's aboard.
Nice play here by Antonacci. This looked like it was targeted for center field. Gets up and makes a strong throw. Look at that stretch by Vinny Pasquantino.
So if you're Great Britain now, you've got the big drink of water you're facing on the mound. Do you run here with 2 outs? Got a lefty bat in Koperniak.
I think if you're Great Britain right now, you have to push the envelope. They've done a good job getting this game to the 4th inning. Jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Team Italy answered back with 2 solo homers.
Good sized lead. They thought he was running. Anytime you get a fastball that's eye high and a foot wide, it's a good indication.
Yeah, you could almost see by the reaction, the footwork of D'Orazio.
Robinson had 34 stolen bases in the minor leagues last year.
You see he's kind of leaning there with that right leg. Normally what you want to do if you decide a guy has a good lead off, that cut of the grass on the infield, if you can get within about 1 step of that cut where the dirt starts, that's a pretty good lead right there.
Not running, and again, you see where the pitch is. That's and it looks like Quattrini almost a slide step on both deliveries.
Yeah, the problem is now you kind of paint yourself into a corner. You're 2-0 with a guy that has some thunder in his bat. Time to make a good pitch. If the runner goes, he goes.
And 1 throw over as well. He's running, got a huge jump. And that almost hit Quattrini, who was crouched down. The ball went right behind him.
Well, I tell you what, that is a terrific job too there by Koperniak. It's difficult if you're a left-handed hitter to be able to see if the runner gets a great jump to take that pitch.
So 2 outs and a 3-0 pitch. I think this is a really good example of what the running game can do to a pitcher, because he had shortened his delivery. Watch this throw.
Almost catches Quattrini in the wallet area there. That was awfully close.
And so now, having walked Koperniak on 4 pitches, Trace Thompson is the hitter.
I think if Team Italy has done any scouting of Great Britain, the one area that Thompson has had some difficulty with is that breaking ball down and away. try to go over all of your data and how you want to approach hitters. Thompson, a good fastball hitter, but at times gets a little jumpy, expands the zone. Might not be a bad idea to go ahead and see if he can land one of those secondary pitches, a curveball or slider. More than likely, Thompson's going to be aggressive, try to put the ball in play.
This would be an enormous answer back if you're Great Britain, who saw their 2-0 lead evaporate with 2 quick swings and back-to-back homers.
Miss with that breaking ball. The idea was there. That ball was intended to be located down and away. I still think you want to go to it again right here. You would assume Thompson is going to be in that swing mode.
Broken bat, slow roller. Thompson runs well. Fisher has it, and it's picked at first base. That's a major league play by a major league first baseman, Vinny Pasquantino.
Terrific pick by Pasquantino.
Great Britain threatens, but they leave 2-2 here in Houston.
Moments at the Classic that connect 9 years apart. Adam Jones, the iconic catch to deny Manny Machado back in 2017, and then nearly the mirror image last night. Trayce Thompson soaring into the air and above the wall to deny Will Smith, and even the reaction. Tyler Clippard on the left, Tyler Vaiza on the right, and of course Adam Jones watching the games in Japan right now. Oh, he was watching it carefully and gave Trayce Thompson the credit even against Adam Jones's stars and stripes. It was just amazing to be in the ballpark last night. So much energy. And Trayce Thompson, he keeps having these moments, Rich and Dan, in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes, he did. That leadoff homer that he had back in 2023 was so cool. And the 2 catches, breaking ball here for Dominic Canzone. And Nick Wells is out of the bullpen for Great Britain. We saw him early, and he was sharp. 2 scoreless innings. It was Friday against Mexico. And that's a good Mexican lineup.
Yeah, Wells was terrific against Mexico, as you touched on, Rich. 2 scoreless innings. Sneaky fastball, 91 to 93. Good breaking ball to go along with it. That low 3/4 arm angle makes it tough to pick up if you're a lefty.
Canzone swings and misses. So both managers are into their bullpens. Zach DeZenzo and then Sam Antonacci. The back-to-back homers, Andrew Fisher in the 7th spot. J.J. D'Orazio, the catcher, in the 8th spot. One for 4 is DeZenzo. He fouls that one at the plate. 25-year-old. Last couple years, 53 games with the Astros. Had a couple injuries last year, hand and elbow. Got right in Winter League in Puerto Rico. And he and Dominic Canzone know each other quite well. They were teammates at Ohio State.
Yeah, you could kind of see in the batter's box. Very physical presence in the box. Nice, short, compact swing. You can see why he hit well over 300 in the Winter League in Puerto Rico.
Smokes that one. It's going to get to the corner and to the wall. DeZenzo with a double.
Really good at bat. Had some good swings. Very well balanced hitting approach. Wells tries to get that breaking ball in on him. You see that grip, off-center grip. This one intended to be down and in. Boy, look at that balance. Head still right on it.
Antonacci now, he struck out back in the 2nd against Owen Wild. So lefty on lefty here. Wells to the plate. It's 2-0.
Yeah, Wells not as sharp as he was a couple of days ago in Mexico. He was locating a fastball, really good command of that breaking ball.
It's pulled foul. 2-1. 2 runs, 3 hits for Great Britain. 2 runs, 3 hits for Italy. "17 pitchers, 1 lefty." The lefty out of the pen. That one fouled at the plate.
Good pitch by Wells. Count leverage, 3 balls and 1 strike. Anytime you can get one of your secondary pitches, whether it be a curveball, changeup, or slider, over 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. Now you could go multiple ways with this 3-2 pitch.
Wells is kind of a modern day player with the contraction of the minor leagues. He spent time in the minor leagues. 7 seasons. 3rd round pick by the Blue Jays. We talked about the Ghost Peppers of Gastonia in the independent ball. And he's pitched there. He's going to pitch in Mexico this summer. Rolled on the ground. Chisholm on to first. And there's 2 outs. Yeah. Now the independent leagues, the summer league in Mexico, even obviously Korea and Japan, there's a lot of players with fewer minor league teams that are being developed in other places.
Yeah, and we've seen now with The rash of injuries that normally occur throughout Major League Baseball, you can do whatever you can to get yourself visible. You never know when there's going to be scouts that are watching games. Sometimes you're one phone call away from getting an opportunity, and if you get that opportunity, making the most of it.
All right, the Fisher family on alert. A home run in his first WBC at bat for young Andrew. Top prospect, one of the top prospects of the Milwaukee Brewers. And a college star in 3 different spots. Ole Miss, Duke, Tennessee, led the SEC in homers last year. And you can see why with that one swing. Hits it hard. Oh! Murray! Nobody's there! 3-2 Italy.
Yeah, that could be a very difficult play for a left-handed pitcher, mainly because you're falling off towards third base. And unfortunately for Wells, he's not able to get over in time. Watch the delivery. See how he falls towards third base. Great play by Murray to knock it down. Unfortunately, Wells is not going to win the foot race with Fisher. Well, it's a nice play by Murray knocking that down. That ball was hit hard. With the inability of Wells to get over, an easy run for Team Italy to take the lead. See right there, he falls off towards third base. You give someone like Fisher a couple of step head start, there's no way he's going to beat him to the bag.
I think we've seen it with Brazil. We've seen it with Great Britain. When you're playing a team that's more talented than you are, and Italy's roster is dotted with more big leaguers and talent, you have to win the margins. You have to do the little things exactly right. And that's a little thing they didn't do right, and it's a 3-2 Italy lead.
Oh, it's so disappointing, right? You make a good pitch to a good hitter. Nice play by Murray there to keep that in front of him, knock it down. Unfortunately, Wells not in position to get there at first base, and it cost Great Britain a run.
And we noted Great Britain's schedule here started out tough. Mexico and USA. This was an opportunity for them to keep from getting eliminated in terms of advancing to the quarterfinals. They lose this game, they're not headed anywhere. Oh! Lewis kicks it. That's an E6. And it's getting a little ragged here.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy here from Great Britain. Much like Team Italy in that first inning, a couple of wild pitches gifted Great Britain a couple of runs. This is a play that more than likely Lewis is going to make 9 times out of 10. You see him get to it. Didn't really look the ball into his glove. But once it hits the ground, now you're in a race to try to pick it up.
Not that it changed the outcome, but it certainly changed the game last night. The throwing error opened the door for the Schwarber homer.
That really was a huge opening for Team USA. Then a wild pitch scored Clement, and then Schwarber hit the big 2-run homer. It went from 1-0 to 3-1 in a flash.
And it was Italy who didn't play great defense in the first inning when Great Britain got their 2 runs. Some wild pitches that probably should have been knocked down, and a couple of outfield plays that weren't made. Mastrobuoni now. And this inning, in terms of pitch count, has really rocketed for Wells, who's right out of the pen. He's at 24 pitches. Mastrobuoni walked back in the third. First and second, 2 outs. Line down the right field line. Gets down for a hit. That'll chase home 1. And holding third is DeRazio. Fisher scores. Mastrobuoni stretches the lead, 4-2.
Yeah, big two-out base hit there by Mastrobuoni. A double. Hits this one just inside the line, down the right field line. Thompson did a great job to get it, to keep that runner from first base from scoring. Here's another look at it right here. Out front on this breaking ball. Kind of a soft fly ball into the corner in right field. Thompson plays it on a couple of hops and gets it back in.
Wells goes inside on Dante Nori and gets a strike. Nori has bounced out twice to the right side. You open the door just a little, and sometimes it gets kicked open.
Yeah, inability to get over and cover first base by Wells. Gave Team Italy a chance to take the lead. And then the error by Lewis kept the inning going, and Italy's made Great Britain pay for it.
1-2. And it's in. Nori, the 2-homer game yesterday, added a double. It's fouled back to the screen. Italy certainly has shown power and slug. And this is game 2. Yesterday, of course, they had the 3 homers, 2 coming from Nori, 1 from Canzone. There's the family. Is that a good luck youngster rubbing the Phillies? That's a Phillies cap, it looks like.
Absolutely it is.
It's awesome. It's like, what, 4 generations of Noris.
Take a look at this sequence. A boatload of sinkers. A couple of sliders mixed in and a straight changeup. He's thrown everything but the kitchen sink.
3-2 now. On the ground, Chisholm gets a piece. A run will score. Throw across the diamond, and Italy has another run. Nori gets a base hit and an RBI. The family gets to celebrate.
Right, Rich, and when you put the ball in play, good things happen. Great range there by Jazz to knock this one down. Sitting is kind of set up well, too, from the bridge with all the left-handed hitters from Team Italy. Ball hitting the hole, a good job by Jazz to knock this down. There's no way he's going to have a play at first. He tries to throw behind the runner at third base, and there's Nori. Family loving it too.
So awesome. Just so awesome. Maybe not for Great Britain. Marcy now. Nori and Mastrobuoni at the corners. Well, the hat rubbing worked. A little good luck.
It's amazing you make up the lineup if you're Francisco Cervelli. You set that lineup with as many lefties as you can to throw some lefties up against Owen Wild. Then a manager goes to that bullpen, he brings in a lefty, but they've done a really good job putting the ball in play against Wells.
even by Major League standards. This is a lot of pitches in an inning for a starter or a reliever.
Yeah, I would assume this would be the end of the road for Wells. This will be his 37th pitch. And with that pitch clock, you kind of get in that mode of rapid fire, get it and throw it, get it and throw it. We talked about it yesterday. It's kind of like hitting balls at the driving range one after another. Next thing you know, you work yourself into a rhythm that's a little bit too fast. But with that pitch clock, you don't have the ability to slow the pace of the game down.
Counts 3-1. Teams have really tried to find workarounds to get a pitcher just a blow on the mound. The 3-1 pitch. Before the pitch clock, you could wander around the mound. You could throw the rosin bag around a little bit.
Even in the minor leagues, they were taking advantage of that and just picking off at first base, constantly slowing it down. But then with the disengagements, you're only allowed one throw over the first base.
You do get a timeout at the plate, and Marcy has used his.
Hold on, timeout.
Little reminder that you got to make the eye contact before 8 seconds. That may have been just to collect yourself, and it's full count, 2 outs.
Yep,
So
just to see if he's going, if he's going to go on first move.
Nori on the way, and the pitch is way outside. I mean, the hook may come now rather than in the next inning. If you're Great Britain, they have a right-hander ready.
You would have to think they're going to try to leave him out here for Pasquantino. Looks like they may make the move. They're going to the bullpen.
Pitching change. Italy has taken the lead. It's 5-2.
Has flipped. Italy now leading 5-2 in a crucial point in the middle of this game. Team Great Britain has one left-handed pitcher on the roster, Nick Wells. Italy's lineup heavily left-handed, but the success of Team Italy putting the ball in play against Wells has now forced Bradley Marcelino to the bullpen. And here comes Jack Seppings, gentlemen, who 2 years ago was pitching for the Brown Bears in the Ivy League.
Well, here he is. Vinny Pasquantino. That pitch was across the plate. It looked like it caught the top of the zone. And you can see Seppings, single A, high A. And the move pull looks like it's going to pay off for Great Britain as Chisholm is there to get the pop-up. But Italy has grabbed the lead. 3 runs in the 4th. Now that's a nice touch with Italy,
right,
on the field, right? Very creative. Ian Lewis Jr., bottom of the order for Great Britain. Gabriel Quattrini still in there for Italy.
Yeah, if you're Quattrini right now, you want to just pound that strike zone. Make Great Britain put the ball in play. No bases on balls. Make them hit their way on. Kind of have a momentum switch. Italy feels like they've got the momentum. This is a big shutdown inning right here after you scored 3. It's one of the things a former teammate of mine for a couple of years in Toronto, Roger Clemens, he thought it was a big edge shutdown innings. You score a run or 2, go out there and try to get a 1-2-3 inning, keep that momentum.
Up the middle, off of Quattrini. Lewis is hustling. Nice play. Antonacci.
Little assist from the foot or the leg area. Really nice play, barehanded. Look at that stretch from Vinny Pasquantino. Boy, for a big fella, he gets out there. He can stretch with the best of them in baseball.
Top of the order, here's Eaton. His 3 hits last night were all of the hits that Great Britain had against USA. Drills that one to left. Hit pretty well. Over is Norrie. He's there, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, this is one of the trickier ballparks to play in the Major League level. Dyken Park, all those nooks and crannies in that left field area, those Crawford box seats. He was shading over to the gap more in left center. He has a long way to go to get this one. This one had visions of hitting off that scoreboard.
Now Chisholm, who had his first hit in 3 games with the leadoff, or with the single back in the first inning. The breaking ball, it's 0-2.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Norrie. Unfortunately, in that first inning, he had a line drive that was hit that he appeared to lose in the lights, which turned into a double.
Chisholm hit the fly ball that dropped in front of Marcy in center, and it appeared Marcy got a late break. And those two, you don't want to call them mistakes, but those 2 plays opened the door with a couple of wild pitches, and that's how Great Britain got their runs.
Yeah, that line score is going to be very misleading for Dylan DeLucia. You look at that line score and see 3 2/3, 2 runs, but he pitched awfully well.
That drops in for strike 3. Quattrini with a 1-2-3 fifth. Halfway through, first of 2 from Houston in Pool B. Scorching ground ball, Chisholm to first. Dominic Canzone out number 1 in the 5th.
Yeah, and a great point by J.P. Morosi in the last inning. A lone lefty for Britain. Wells out of the game with all these left-handers in that lineup for Team Italy. Sets up pretty good for some runs for the next few innings.
It's a great illustration of how, as a manager, you can do all the right things. You can have everybody in the right spot, and sometimes it still doesn't work.
Well, this is when, right now, if you're Great Britain, you need one of your relievers to step up and keep this game as close as you can. You kind of get the feeling the Brits can ill afford to fall further behind than 3 runs.
This is a PitchCom timeout. Here's a look at that fourth inning, the ill-fated fourth inning for Great Britain.
Yeah, simple play right here. Ball hit to the right side, get over. You work on this all the time in spring training. But when you fall off towards third base, watch Wells. He has a difficult time, and this is the ground ball right here. Routine play that led to another run. Great Britain kind of gifting the Italians a couple of opportunities. And credit the Italian lineup. Not an easy thing to do. Wells is pretty tough against lefties. Put the ball in play, and they did that.
DeZenzo doubled in the fourth. He takes outside here. Jack Seppings, second out of the bullpen for Great Britain. Got the last out in the fourth and the first out here in the fifth. And that 3-0 pitch just missed.
As the late Bob Uecker would say, just a bit outside.
Uecker was around when you were a Brewer, right?
He sure was. He was bigger than the team. We would travel and go on the road, particularly like going to New York. Get off at that gate 4 entrance and team bus. We had a team of stars: Robin Young, Paul Molitor,
everybody did.
Pete Vukovich.
Everybody wanted to see.
Oh, when Vuk would walk out, everybody started yelling, "Front row, hey buddy, in the cheap seats."
Antonacci, a strike. And much of, as I remember, much of that movie was actually filmed
in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee.
While I was playing for the Brewers, they would film while we were on road trips.
Really?
Yes.
Were you ever called as an extra?
No, but I'll tell you what,
wasn't
Pete Vukovich.
Pete Vukovich was, right?
Former Cy Young Award winner with the Brewers, yes. Played a big role in that movie.
Hit hard and fair and down the line and into the corner. DeZenzo racing around third. He's going to score. Antonacci to third. On his way home. He's going to score. Yes! Crashes through. Tumbles across the plate. And it's a 7-2 lead.
Yeah, and they're loving it here. All the fans of Team Italy putting the ball in play. A bullet hit right over the bag at first base. Team Italy done a very good job putting the ball in play. Has it been the cleanest of games defensively for Great Britain? Lots of smiles in that Italia dugout.
Antonacci with a wild ride around the bases.
Boy, this is a bullet just fair. Murray can't get a glove on it. Goes down in that corner. You can see DeZenzo. He's off to the races right now. Picks up his third base coach. And that's an easy send. He scores easily.
Now watch him fumble with his helmet. It's like, all right. And then
he had to get down in a hurry. It almost looked like he was going to use his helmet and try to deflect the ball. Time for Sam to catch his breath.
That's another error on Great Britain. And a 7-2 lead. And here's Fisher, who's injected a lot of energy and a lot of pop in the lineup today.
Yeah, here's a good look. Hey, get down! Late slide, covered in dirt.
Chisholm to his left. I wonder if he got like a little sip of espresso with a triple.
Yeah, kind of like maybe one of those Little League type homers, right? A double, throwing air, you score all the way from first.
I don't think so.
No.
I think you got to go yard.
Team Italy, they have, listen, they've got their standards. It's got to be over the wall or a legit inside the Parker before they're going to break out that espresso machine.
Maybe the happiest player for Italy is at the plate right now. JJ D'Orazio, remember the rough first inning he had behind the plate with 2 wild pitches that he'd probably tell you he should have knocked down.
Yeah, particularly the second one, the changeup that went right through the 5-hole. 2-strike changeup, but was able to combat that. Hit a big 3-run homer, a home run in the 3rd inning. The second of the 2 back-to-back. Fisher and D'Orazio went back-to-back in the bottom of the 3rd.
Close, please. 1-2. I'm out.
Of course, D'Orazio felt a whole lot better when he popped one into the bullpen in right center, an opposite field homer, backing up the Fisher home run and tying the game. Two balls, 2 strikes. Again, what's at stake here? Great Britain loses this game. They're eliminated for advancing to the quarterfinals. Italy trying to win and set themselves up for their final 2 games. It's a nice throw on a hop there. And the Italians are enjoying their afternoon in Houston. They're up by 5.
The intrigue builds here at the World Baseball Classic. Later today, Brazil and Mexico meet. And gentlemen, if the result today holds, if Italy indeed triumphs over Great Britain, you could think of the next 3 days as a play-in for 2 spots, 2 tickets to the quarterfinal. The key games, of course, Mexico-U.S. tomorrow night, Italy-U.S. on Tuesday, and then what should be a fascinating game between Mexico and Italy on Wednesday evening. Very importantly, Team Italy has their top 2 starting pitchers lined up to start against the 2 toughest opponents for them in this round, Michael Lorenzen and Aaron Nola, in addition to a fully stocked bullpen as we see Joe La Sorsa step in with multiple major league relievers who have yet to even appear in this classic. Italy could make a 2nd straight trip to the quarterfinal.
That's all great stuff, JP, and that's the reason that when Great Britain got 2 runs in the first, all of a sudden it was like, oh, because this is a take care of business game if you're Italy.
Yeah, and you're looking at 2 guys, Aaron Nolan on the left, Michael Lorenzen on the right. Big part of the starting pitching plans moving forward for Francisco Cervelli and Team Italy.
Harry Ford, B.J. Murray, Ivan Johnson. You see La Sorsa.
Boy, good breaking ball right there from La Sorsa. Slurvy type of slider. Ball starts out on the outer third. Watch how much this ball breaks back in. Off the plate inside. Terrific pitch from La Sorsa. That low 3/4 arm angle. Such a nice weapon if you have that low 3/4 angle. Start a breaking ball a few inches off that outside corner and have it wrap around the back door.
Foul back to the screen.
Yeah, that's 2 good ones in a row right there, Rich, where the ball appears to be off the plate as a hitter to either give up on it.
B.J. Murray in the box. JP, you've got more on La Sorsa.
La Sorsa, a great family story. On his mother's side, both of his grandparents were born in Bari, which is at the heel of the boot of Italy, as it were. Actually, the same hometown, Bari, Italy, as the hometown of Francisco Cervelli's father, Emanuele. So a connection there between the La Sorsa and the Cervelli families. Certainly the La Sorsa family actually in the New Jersey area, New York area. Joe grew up as a Mets fan, despite his father having some ties to the Bronx, but now having pitched for multiple major league organizations, Joe's family is a fan of whatever team he's pitching for, and right now a very easy one to choose, the Azzurri, Team Italy.
1-2 pitches in. He's trying to make a roster too.
He is certainly a competitive spot for him in camp. And Rich and Dan, we often talk about the decisions of players to participate in this tournament. The want to represent your country, of course, is always there, but at times for players, there comes the professional reality of trying to earn a roster spot. And so there are always players for a team like Italy or Great Britain who aren't able to participate in a particular classic. But for Joe La Sorsa, who told me before this classic how much fun he had back in 2023 facing Team Japan at the Tokyo Dome, it was a very easy choice for him to come back and pitch in his 2nd straight classic.
Yeah, you could almost tell by watching 3-2 breaking ball under control. We talked about it last night, Rich. You can kind of sense and get a feel of pitchers that have some big league experience. The mound presence is just different.
Fisher knocks it down, throws a bullet across the diamond. Joe La Sorsa with a nice clean inning. That should help his chances to make a club.
MLB Together and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
Italy down early 2-0, now up 7-2. Trying to add on here in the 6th inning. That would be ball 1.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of teams, Brazil and Great Britain, have struggled with these pitch clock violations.
You have players coming from all different leagues and all different places of the world.
And I'm sure it's enforced a little bit more strict in some than others also.
Mastrobuoni off his foot.
Last time up, Mastrobuoni, that big RBI single to drive in a run to help Italy increase that lead.
Seppings catches the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've had rain in and out of the area. Heavy rain last night during the game. Roof's been closed. Looks like a couple Texas Rangers. That one pop foul and out of play. There's a little bit of flooding downtown last night on our way back.
Yeah, it was pouring here last night. Fortunately, here at Daikin Park, have this enclosed structure. Don't have to worry about rain delays or cancellations of games.
Mastrobuoni lines it into left field. That's a base hit. Top of the order, Dante Nori, Jacob Marcy. 3 of the 4 sites that open the World Baseball Classic are under a roof. You've got Miami and Houston, which are retractable, and then Tokyo Dome.
I believe the only one is not is in Puerto Rico.
That's right, Hiram Bithorn Stadium.
Well, I set you up perfectly. I love your pronunciation and enunciation of.
I got a soft spot for that ballpark. Have called games there twice. Nori lines one into center field. That's a base hit. So a couple hits for Italy. I would love for you to do a game there and go to Tokyo and do some games there. They're just such unique places, and if, like me, who's grown up and gone to games at Major League ballparks and worked in Major League ballparks, to go to San Juan and do the World Baseball Classic and a series with the Marlins and the Mets there, just incredible, culturally different music, dancing on the dugouts, just a party for the whole thing. And then Tokyo is just an immensely fun experience for a baseball person to see how they watch baseball. Pitch down low. The thing I learned in 2013, just like in the U.S., every hitter that comes to the plate for Team Japan has a walk-up song, but it's not a song they play on the loudspeakers. It's a song that the entire crowd sings. And you got drums. And
so as a player, you have no choice. Like the song you get labeled, that's your song, whether you like it or not.
Yes. The great Inaba, the left-handed hitting first baseman for a long time, came from the city of earthquakes. So his song included the 45,000 people jumping up and down and shaking the place. Into right field, that's a base hit for Marcy, and the bags are loaded here for Italy.
Time out, right here.
Well, this is what you feared if you were Great Britain. You used the only left-handed reliever you had in Wells. You're right-handed throughout that bullpen, and this lineup of Team Italy just clustered with good left-handed hitting. You've got Pasquantino and then Canzone on deck. Not getting any easier.
7-2 Italy. And threatening here. Bags loaded, nobody out. Pitching change. Back after this. The World Baseball Classic Incorporated may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I was putting my thinking cap on, looking forward to tomorrow. Would be Great Britain and Brazil tomorrow, the noon game, right? So the winner of that game would qualify. They would be out of pool play, but to qualify for the next WBC. So that's a big game tomorrow.
It is a big game. That's a big deal. Let's check in with Jon Morosi.
As Vinny Pasquantino steps in, one of my favorite stories on this team is actually at first base as we talk about the numbers of Team Italy. Of course, Vinny Pasquantino wearing number 9. Running at first base, Jacob Marci wearing number 5.
Pickoff throw, almost got him at third base.
The story of number 5 for Marci is he actually requested a few other numbers that were taken by players with higher seniority. So Ned Colletti, the GM of Team Italy, said, you know, Jacob, number 5 is a pretty important number among Italian Americans, especially when you're playing center field. And so here, the center fielder for Team Italy is wearing Joe DiMaggio's number 5.
Born in my hometown is Joe DiMaggio. He wasn't wearing a uniform when I saw him as a kid, but by then he had a sweet-looking suit. Graham Spraker for Great Britain facing Vinny Pasquantino. Rolls it up the first base line. And it wasn't just Joe DiMaggio. He had some brothers that could play too.
Brother Dom
yeah,
was a terrific player. There's another number 5. Jeff Bagwell number retired here. Had some terrific years with the Houston Astros, member of the Baseball Hall of Fame.
One, two. Line drive, caught there, out there as well. And that's exactly what Great Britain needed, is a line drive double play. Marci is caught off first base.
Boy, B.J. Murray has made some really nice plays in this game. This is a bullet, has the presence of mind. just go ahead and apply the tag to Marcy.
And here comes Canzone. Spraker's second appearance. Canzone is 0 for 3. He takes outside. A ton of damage for Italy at the bottom of their order, just like their first game. Andrew Fisher in the 7 spot, 2 hits, a homer, 2 RBIs. D'Orazio, a homer. And Mastrobuoni's got an RBI with 2 hits.
Dan mentioned the DiMaggio connection. It's interesting to note, Rich, that during the middle part of the last century, there were plenty of fans, especially around Rhode Island, who were Yankees fans because of the number of Italian Americans who played for the Yankees during that era. DiMaggio, Berra, Rizzuto, before them, Lazzeri, Crosetti. So where you were from dictated more of who you were cheering for, even though certainly if you're in Rhode Island, you're a lot closer to Fenway than you are to the Bronx.
And it sounds odd, but where I grew up, there was a good portion of Italian people as well in San Francisco, that San Francisco Bay Area. A lot of immigrants landed there, the DiMaggio family as well. A little flip there. And Spraker comes in, restores order with a little help from his buddy B.J. Murray. 7-2 Italy.
Matt Festa on the mound for Team Italy. His entrance music today, Con te partirò by Andrea Bocelli, rarely heard in Major League ballparks. Even with Festa's entrance, Team Italy still has 4 pitchers in the major leagues who have not yet appeared as relievers. Kyle Nicholas, Dan Altavilla, Greg Weissert, and Ron Marinaccio. The bullpen depth for Team Italy, a key reason why they believe they can manage their way through this classic. And Rich, Team Italy's bullpen so far has yet to surrender a run.
That bodes well, certainly, with the upcoming schedule with Mexico and USA in their sights. There's some of those names. Adam Ottavino on this staff as well. Gotta like that.
Had a chance to watch Dan Altavilla several times last year with the White Sox, guy with a big arm. May have found a home with the White Sox. Was pitching some high leverage situations towards the end of the season.
So Gacy Now at shortstop, that pitch is fouled back. So you guys think that there will ever be an Italian player in the major leagues that chooses that music that JP just talked about as his walk-up song?
Yeah, it's got to be the right guy. It can't be a high-energy guy. But I will say this, JP will like this. That's one of the few songs I happen to have seen Bocelli 2 times at Madison Square Garden around the holidays. And if you ever get a chance to see him, you should. It's a terrific concert.
Legend. He was part of the Olympic ceremonies as well in Milano Cortina. So there certainly is a lot of Italian pride in sport. We talk about actually a big win recently for the Italian rugby team over Great Britain, I should point that out. The way the team is playing here at the Classic, the Olympics just completed, a couple matches to go for Italy to qualify for the World Cup. And Houston is a World Cup city, so a lot of great international sport going on for the Azzurri.
There's a strike. One of these nights we need to get catering in from the best Italian restaurant here in Houston. And by the way, I can't believe I haven't even gone here. The 7-2 game is probably a good time to do it. Festa to the plate, that's inside. John Morosi actually went out to dinner with the Italian team a few nights ago here in Houston. And JP, I'm curious, you didn't go to like a Brazilian steakhouse, did you?
No, it was a beautiful Italian dinner. I was honored to be invited, and I knew 2 things. The food would be great, and the company would be even better. So I had a chance to catch up and share some stories. Just a beautiful way to get together, and that's the type of fellowship that you often see at the tournament. And I'll be clear, certainly Italy near and dear to my heart, but honestly, there's a lot of great cuisine represented in this World Classic, so invitations open. If others would wish to invite the crew, all of us, to enjoy some great food during the Classic.
Question for you, JP. Did you pay for that check, or was that on scholarship via Italia?
You know, Dan, often in the Italian way, family hosts you, I guess is how I will leave that.
Smart guy, JP. When that pasta and vino starts swirling around, that bill can be expensive.
It can be indeed.
Koperniak punches one into left field, and that's a 1-out hit against Festa here in the 7th.
You look at the swing right here. Backdoor breaking ball from Festa. Good swing. Look at that, head down, barrel down, great balance. Good swing.
Great Britain, a 2-0 lead to start this game. It was erased in the 3rd by back-to-back home runs from Italy.
You know, I know, Rich, we're not supposed to have favorite players or root for players, but I'm kind of rooting for Trace Thompson to get another chance to play in the big leagues. He does so many things well. Elite defender. There has to be somebody somewhere that could use this guy on his roster.
He certainly is still major league caliber as a defender. We've seen that. And he had a couple hits in an earlier game. 0 for 2 in this one.
Yeah, it's so difficult when you're one of those extra guys in an outfield. Most of the time when you get a regular gets a day off, you're going to face a good pitcher. This guy's a wizard with a glove, no question about it. Good breaking ball here from Festa. You see this breaking ball, front door breaking ball.
Ian Lewis now, who was struck out, bounced out. Two 2-0. Brazil and Mexico tonight. So we get a chance to see Mexico. Crack to center. Marcy adjusts, makes the catch. The Brits leave a runner and trail by 5. Bump in the road to start for Italy, but a party since. And a 7-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Zach DeZenzo leads off. Graham Spraker for Great Britain. Italy has shown their offense off in the 2 games that we've seen, this being game 2. DeZenzo has walked, doubled, and bounced out.
I really feel like they have a leg up in a game like this one. They get a good starting performance from DeLucia, and then they have a bevy of experienced relievers that Francisco Cervelli can go through the next 3 innings.
And they've been able to really ease into the World Baseball Classic. They have some off days. They open with Brazil and then get Great Britain, with USA and Mexico to come. Two balls and 2 strikes. So there's the schedule. They do end on back-to-back nights, but they get in, get acclimated to the ballpark, on their way right now to winning their 2nd game. Everybody's talking about USA-Mexico, but Italy has other ideas.
One of the things you really need to have is an experienced pitcher. Pitching against Team USA with that feared lineup, but Aaron Nola and Michael Lorenzen, no stranger to seeing those familiar faces. Terrific pitch right here, outside corner. Barely catches that outer quadrant. Little cut on this fastball.
And that's different than Mexico's setup in terms of starting pitching, especially when Mexico meets Team USA.
The way it lines up right now, tomorrow night, the 7 p.m. Central Time Zone game will be Paul Skeens going for Team USA and tentatively scheduled for a bullpenning game from Team Mexico.
So in modern day Major League Baseball, that would be an opener. And then bring on whoever you got.
Which can present some problems. You would assume there's going to be at least 6 or 7 pitchers that will be involved in that game. Lots of different looks Team USA will have to handle.
JP, your perspective?
Andrew Fisher, very proud indeed of his New Jersey roots. We talked about his family earlier today. You'll notice on that left forearm, if you've traveled the Northeast, you know that emblem anywhere, the New Jersey Turnpike. How about that? Simon and Garfunkel even sang a song about that. And now Andrew Fisher in the batter's box after a thunderous home run earlier today.
JP, that tattoo brings tears to my eyes, living in that area right now, being stuck several times on that New Jersey Turnpike.
I said Dan will recognize this anywhere. There's actually been a production meeting or two that Dan has had to at times dial in. Where are you, Dan? I'm on the Turnpike, John. I'm going to get there, though, eventually. We're all set.
Yep, there's 2 things you dread, the New Jersey Turnpike and the Garden State Parkway. Take your pick.
We even got Simon and Garfunkel on the show.
Oh, man.
And JP could have done that with DiMaggio last inning, too. Once fouled back. Fisher, just what a nice World Baseball Classic debut with that home run to right, his family going nuts, and then an RBI single in the 4th.
Look at that birthplace, Brick, New Jersey, close to the New Jersey shore, right near Manalapan, New Jersey.
Guy that had a great college career in 3 different spots. Fouls that back. And that's I think we touched upon it a few games ago. College baseball in the last 8 to 10 years has come so far and is much closer to Major League Baseball than it was years ago. And the money in the college system right now, in facilities, in development, in coaches. There are some pitching coaches in college that make more money than pitching coaches in the big leagues.
How about that? He had a chance to play for Tony Vitello, the new manager, the San Francisco Giants. Buster Posey and the Giants thinking outside the box, going to the college ranks.
Three-two. Pulls that one hard and foul. You were a college pitcher?
NC State.
Very nice.
Wolfpack, yes, part of the ACC.
Back in the Jim Valvano.
Yes, 1983.
Era.
We won it all at the Pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
How did you go from Indiana to there and not go there for basketball?
I did originally. Norm Sloan was the head coach. I was going to NC State to play basketball. Signed a letter of intent. Never pitched a game in high school till my senior year. Our coach, Dig Wegg, begged me to pitch. I told him I did it when I was in Little League. I didn't really like it. One thing turned into the next. I was a 42nd player taken in the draft by the Cardinals. Didn't sign. They transferred my scholarship from basketball to baseball. Norm Sloan left. Jim Valvano took over that summer.
And you were just in Albuquerque.
I was. Home of Lorenzo Charles, the dunk at the buzzer.
Oh, we've come full circle here. 7-2 Italy.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
We're able to use our platform and let these kids know that dreams are reachable.
It's very important to leave something behind to show our gratitude. Stand up to cancer.
We are attacking your offices.
Together.
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 The World Baseball Classic, where the game's best suit up for national pride. Want a piece of classic history? Visit MLB.com/WBC auction.
Welcome back to Houston, where the young Italian talent continues to arrive. Nick Morabito, one of the brightest young prospects in the New York Mets organization, will play right field to begin the 8th inning, while on the mound, Kyle Nicholas recently moved from the Pirates to the Reds, the product of Massillon, Ohio, best known as a football hotbed, but he also had a great career at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana.
Boy, we're just all over New Jersey and Indiana on this show. Kyle Nicholas.
I was putting my thinking cap on, thinking of Brick, New Jersey. Another famous guy, Tom McCarthy.
Yeah.
Play-by-play man extraordinaire of the Philadelphia Phillies from Brick, New Jersey.
Outstanding. This is Nate Eaton. He's had a really nice World Baseball Classic. Doubled in the first. 3 hits last night against Team USA, and he shoots that one the other way, bounces off the wall. Eaton's on his way to another extra base hit.
Boy, he's had a fine WBC. Last night, first pitch he saw from Tarek Skubal. Hit one into the Crawford box seats, or just to the right of it, off that railing. Good swing, inside-out swing. Look at that vacated spot there over first base. Vinny Pasquantino playing well off the bag. Easy double.
Chisholm up the middle. That's going to chase home a run. Eaton around third, on his way home. And the Brits have a run here in the 8th.
Well, they're not going to go down without a fight.
And Eaton into the dugout. JP, you got more on the leadoff man for Great Britain.
I do, and before the tournament started, I was asking around, getting anecdotes on players, and I asked a Royals official, of course they had Eaton for a while in the organization, I said, can you tell me something unique about him? And the word was that he used to drive heavy machinery as his off-season job when he was in the minor leagues. Again, he was driving heavy machinery in the off-season. And gentlemen, he's been playing like it in this tournament. What a force for Team Great Britain.
Heavy machinery.
That's something you and I, Rich, would know nothing about. The last thing you want to do is have you and I handling some heavy machinery. That would be lawsuit waiting to happen.
But if we started a heavy metal band.
Now you're talking my language, right?
Hello, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Pitches outside.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame would have been waiting, right?
The Harry Ford. You know, guys, we were talking about an inning ago about the decision. When you're trying to make a club, do you go play in the Classic or do you stick around in spring training? There's a roller up the middle. Out there. There's 2 outs now. I don't know. I'm interested in both of your perspectives. Now that we're this far in on the World Baseball Classic, this is the 6th one. The competition, the level of play has risen steadily every 3-4 years as we've played each one. Can you make a club? Can you help yourself make a club if you come to the World Baseball Classic and you have a great Classic?
Oh, I don't think without question. I think the key is, as a position player, you're going to face better pitching in a week here than you probably would in spring training, because so many of the spring training
challenging the outcall at second base.
You have a starting pitcher, then you have multiple relievers. I think the quality of pitching you face, particularly when you're facing Mexico and Italy and Team USA, you're seeing elite pitching from a hitting standpoint.
We'll finish that thought. Let's look at this turn. Oh, that's a great challenge. That used to be the neighborhood play, and you would get that call in baseball. But once instant replay arrived, you're not going to get that call. So Chisholm's going to be safe at second. They're going to get the out at first.
Yeah, that's going to be a lesson learned from Antonacci after he sees this. See, he has that foot, that right foot straddled on the bag, but as the throw comes, that foot comes off the bag.
So a good challenge by the Great Britain replay room.
After review, the call, the runner is safe. Great Britain will retain their challenge.
So they keep the challenge. The out recorded at first. There's 1 out. How do you score that? It's not a fielder's choice anymore, right? It's just simple 6-4-3 now. And here's Murray. And Murray takes down low. JP, I'm interested. Can you make a club with a great showing in the Classic?
You can, and the larger point is this, that as the minor leagues have evolved so much with a focus on development, whether it's playing a certain position or a pitcher working on a particular pitch, it has been said many times that the first time that a young player plays a game where the result absolutely matters 100% is in his major league debut, right? Because at the developmental levels, you're focusing more on development. Here, winning is 100% the goal. You're playing for your country. So in many ways, these are the most pressure-packed games that a young player is going to play. And I'm of the mind, and I think a lot of people around the game are too, from a player development standpoint, when you put young players in the cauldron of a tournament like this, you learn a lot about them, and they do about themselves as well.
Great points, for sure. A strike to B.J. Murray. By the way, along with that scoring, you do give an error to Antonacci, the second baseman, for missing second. And that makes a lot of sense. It aligns with what some World Baseball Classic insider told me about players in these games, and that is once this thing starts, when the games are really meaningful, like you're playing to advance or that's a Major League postseason feel to it, and a lot of players can get tight as a result. That one pops out of the glove of DeRazio. And Murray's aboard. And this game ain't over here. It's a 7-3 ball game. Italy's trying to finish this off. Great Britain has a run, and they've got 2 more on base. And Francisco Cervelli feels the same. He's going to the bullpen with a 4-run lead in the 8th. Ron Marinaccio comes out of the bullpen. 7 games with the Padres. It's a 0.84 ERA. And this game's gotten a little more interesting here. Nate Eaton with a double, scored on the Chisholm single. And then Antonacci didn't step on the bag cleanly in what would have been a double play. They got the out at first. But the inning continues.
I'm out. He wasn't ready. So it's going to be a strike one on him.
I think you could hear that clearly from David Arrieta, the Venezuelan umpire. You got to be ready.
Great way to pick up strike one if you're a Marinaccio. This is where, as a reliever, you can't get greedy. You want to stay away from a big inning right here. Just get one out at a time, not be so concerned about that runner at third base. You trade in out for a run in a spot like this. Sac fly, pop up, ground ball. See the 4-pitch mix from Marinaccio. Throw that 4-seamer almost 50% of the time. Good changeup, a cutter, and a sweeper that he'll use to right-handers.
Runner goes, big jump ball gets away. And that's going to be a run for Great Britain as Chisholm comes home.
I'm out.
Third wild pitch, third run scored via the wild pitch for Great Britain. It happened twice in the first inning. And it's reared its head again here in the 8th. All of a sudden, it's getting a little dicey. It's one of the problems you have as a catcher when you get down on that one knee. The inability really to go out and surround one and knock one down. It's become so prevalent in Major League Baseball right now. Catcher on one knee. You're going to have a hard time convincing me that's the way to go with a runner on third base, Rich.
Boy, it's been a rough ride. Of course, D'Orazio had that rugged first inning, and that one pops loose as well. His first start. Kyle Teel of the White Sox is their #1 catcher. And Johnson pokes that one foul and out of play. Counts full now at 3-2. It's a 3-run game. In what looked like a game that Italy, especially with the arms they have in their bullpen, could comfortably close.
5 wild pitches today from the Italian pitchers. Big strikeout right there. Kind of restoring some order to this inning. Big strikeout by Marinaccio there. Big second out. Good fastball, 4-seamer. Look at that thing with some tailing action on it.
Now Robinson, and a check swing is fouled back. You would guess now that Marinaccio might not want to throw anything off speed or below the knees.
Yeah, this is where you really have to trust your catcher with a runner on third base and 2 outs. If you're going to elect to go to that breaking ball or something off speed, you want to feel like your catcher can keep it in front. Great changeup right there. Good sequence, fastball in, changeup down and in.
Yankees and Padres, the Major League career of Marinaccio, with a nice tidy 3.02 ERA. Ball and 2 strikes. Top 8 here, 2 runs across. Italy's 5-run lead down to 3. Robinson fights that one off.
Good fastball there, 94 miles an hour. Little late on that swing. This is where you're in a dilemma as a pitcher. You go to the breaking ball and speed up a guy's bat, or go ahead and try to elevate a little fastball a little bit higher than that last one he threw.
1-2. Got him. Great Britain pushes across 2. They're down 3. (7-4), Italy on top. Great Britain scratched out a couple and pull within 3. Italy trying to take care of business and get ready for Mexico and Team USA. Those are their next 2 games here in Houston. And while Mexico and USA, 2 teams that advanced to the semifinals last year, of course, Mexico was 3 outs away from getting to the championship game when Japan came up with a late inning heroic in the 9th. Swing and a miss by D'Orazio. Those were the 2 teams that everybody looked at here in Pool B, but Italy is the team that seems to have the type of talent in the lineup and certainly rotation and bullpen to pull off some sort of an upset for those 2 teams. And if they do, they could advance.
Particularly when you have 2 of your big guns you haven't used yet in Aaron Nola and Michael Lorenzen. This format and scheduling has worked in Team Italy's favor.
D'Orazio's homer was to right, and that followed Andrew Fisher's home run. That was in the 3rd. Of course, Fisher getting his first taste in the World Baseball Classic. 3-1 pitch, that's cracked in the gap. And it's going to roll and be cut off by Eaton. And D'Orazio is going to be close. Out! Have a classic Nate Eaton.
Boy, that's a terrific play by Eaton. This ball was ticketed for the gap in left center field. D'Orazio hits this one right on the screws, and he's thinking too right out of the get-go too. Takes an aggressive turn at first base. Tries to put on the afterburners. And a really good tag here by Jazz as he gets it and gets him on that left thigh area.
Italy's challenging the alcohol at second base.
Wow, they're challenging that, but our replay is pretty clear that he was tagged before the foot got there. It's a good time to use a challenge because umpires can still go to a replay if they want to.
I mean, this is about as clear and obvious as it gets. Rich, if this was turned over, we were talking about JP going up in the rafters on a ladder.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out. Italy loses their challenge.
Two things there. He's out. The other thing is Chisholm's really fortunate that his right hand didn't get caught in the trail leg on the slide.
You see, he's kind of looking at his fingers. I'm not sure if he was nicked at all, but boy, what a nice play by Eaton, cutting that ball off and getting it in.
Mastrobuoni, or excuse me, Sagese on a ground ball, and Lewis throws him out. Sagese came in as a pinch runner earlier in the game. Here's another look at that slide in Chisholm.
Yeah, that trail foot with that cleat. Jazz very fortunate. He's taking a look at his fingers. He might have been scraped a little bit by one of those metal cleats.
Italy does not have a challenge left. You get one challenge in the pool play, and when you get to the quarterfinals, it goes up to, excuse me, you get to the semifinals, you get 2. Spraker facing Dante Nori, who's 2 for 4 in this ball game, and 5 for 7. It's fun to see the families of the players that have come to watch the Classic, and Nori's family has been must-see TV. John Morosi introduced them. And you got like 4 generations of them here to watch. Nori trots down to first. His father, an assistant with the Toronto Raptors. There's grandfather who was a college coach. Oh, excuse me. The T-Wolves. I was wrong, NBA. Raptors, T-Wolves. Pitch misses outside. Marcy now, the 1 for 3. You might think about starting Nori here too.
Yeah, this would be a good time to put him in motion. You have a 3-run lead. You're kind of playing with house money.
There he goes. Drive to right. Marcy hits it pretty well in the corner, and it's a fair ball. That's going to chase home a run. And a double. But that means Nori's going to have to go back to third as it got out of play once it got out of our sight.
Yeah,
disappeared in the corner.
Great Britain catching a break there. That would have been a run for Team Italy. The ball bounces out of play. Francisco Cervelli is going to come out and try to get an explanation of what happened.
Nobody could see that corner from the dugout, Italy's dugout. No one can see that corner from the broadcast booth either. The way those seats angle in, that ball disappeared.
Yeah, this is a good look at it here. You can see it's clearly fair. Bounces up and hits off of that wall above the 326 sign.
which is out of play. This is one of the more challenging ballparks for ground rules. It's a good job by the umpires. That's a pretty clear-cut ball out of play.
Yes, he automatically has the 2 fingers up. Ground rule double right on top of it.
Pitching change coming for Great Britain. 7-4 ball game with Italy threatening.
On base yet again for Team Italy, and you see there his numbers last fall with the surprise Saguaros of the Arizona Fall League. He won a championship there. When I spoke with him after yesterday's game, he said the call to represent Italy came for him during that Fall League season. It's known as finishing school for prospects, and certainly given what his father and grandfather have done, it's a family that knows development very, very well.
Amen. Dylan Covey out of the bullpen. He misses outside on a breaking ball to Vinny Pasquantino.
Yeah, this is a big out for Great Britain right here. Down 3 runs. You feel like it's a little bit manageable.
2 outs, and that misses outside. By the way, Micah Nori, we're trying to decide between Timberwolves and Raptors. He's actually coached both places. Along his stop of his NBA journey. 3-0. You got another big lefty bat on deck with Canzone. Still 7-4. Right up on the top line. 3-1.
3-1 changeup. Gonna face the bases loaded now, and it doesn't get any easier. Dominic Canzone, another one of the left-handed hitters for Team Italy that has quite a bit of sock in that bat.
Bases filled with Italians. Nori, Marci, Pasquantino. Now Canzone. And Covey trying to find the plate. In the air to left. Robinson is there and makes the catch. And the Brits strand 2. 7-4 lead. Going to the 9th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by Authority of World Baseball Classic Incorporated and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Greg Weissert arrives. Italy tries to shut the lid on this one, get to 2-0, get to their day off, and get ready for Team USA and Mexico.
Final line of defense, Greg Weissert, some big league experience, had some time with the Yankees. Big sweeping slider, his go-to pitch.
He's got a lefty bat, Matt Koperniak. Bottom third of the order for Great Britain. They're down 3. Trace Thompson, Ian Lewis, scheduled to appear.
Look at the horizontal break. The best in baseball. 20.1 inches of horizontal break from that big sweeper from Weissert.
Last couple seasons with the Red Sox. Nick. That's a strike. It's 3-1. Obviously, you don't want to put runners on. You don't want to give the top of the order a chance, and especially the leadoff guy who's due up 4th. That's Nate Eaton. You don't want Eaton to come to the plate in this inning. And of course, it's a leadoff walk. Eaton, a teammate with Weissert with the Red Sox. And here's Ward, a pinch hitter. Nick Ward, infielder. And Ward takes outside. He won his second Australian League batting title. And in doing so, he retired. Announced that in January. So this is a great way to go out.
Your last memories of organized baseball make it a good one.
One to Nick Ward.
Nick Ward already has been in training this year with the Seattle Mariners, but not as a player, as a coach. He is a minor league hitting instructor, so he told me before the Classic he would arrive early, get all of his work in before the major league and minor league players even arrived.
He had a big game in that win over Columbia in 2023. I think he had 3 hits. Runner bluffs. Ward, little roller up first base. Could be trouble. Pasquantino's throw. Safe. And the Brits will bring the tying run to the plate.
Boy, that's not what you can do with that one. Kind of a swinging bunt right up the line. Pasquantino has to come get it with that angle. There was no way that Weissert was going to be able to get to it. That's a tough angle as a pitcher. You're making an immediate break towards the ball. Then you have to make that run right up the line. It would have been nearly impossible for him to get to the bag and Pasquantino to get there.
Ian Lewis, 0 for 3. And you got the best hitter for Great Britain on deck in Nate Eaton, who has doubled twice in this game. And of course, homered against Skubal last night, had 3 hits. 1-0. Slow chopper out towards second. They'll get the out at first.
Yeah, smart play there by Antonacci. Make sure you get an out. Outs are so precious, particularly in the 9th inning.
All right, first base is open. However, he's the tying run. And you got Chisholm on deck.
Now, right on right here, you have to go after him. You've got Jazz on the on-deck circle.
That's 95, and that's a strike. See his numbers with the Red Sox. He had 3 hits last night. Those were the only hits against Team USA. Fastball up. Chisholm, who had a slow start in the Classic, has 2 hits in this game. Fouled it back. This is Boston on Boston.
Yeah, that was a good sweeper right there. That's probably the best one Weissert has thrown since he's been out here.
That kind of sums up last night.
Might go back to that sweeper again, but try to get this one a little bit further down and away.
Fastball. Got him.
Boy, good sinking action, 95 miles an hour. Biggest pitch of the inning right here, and boy, this is well located. Look at that sink. Terrific pitch. You can see Eaton swings right over the top of it.
They're going to walk Chisholm intentionally to pitch to young Harry Ford. One for 5 against Weissert in his big league career is Chisholm. Ford hasn't had that long of a big league career. He did get some time late last year with Seattle. Bags loaded, tying runs at first, 2 outs in the 9th. And here's Ford. There's the sweeper. Ford has had some really big moments in the World Baseball Classic for a young player. The 3-run homer in the win over Colombia in 2023 has homered here. Breaking ball, lines it, left center field, and it's caught on the run by Nori, and Italy wins it.
Tell you what, gutsy move by Francisco Cervelli, right? With the base open, put the tying run at first and the go-ahead run, and Harry Ford at the plate, and it pays off. Sometimes you roll the dice and you gamble as a manager, and it pays off for Cervelli and Team Italy.
And with Chisholm's speed at first, if that gets in the gap, we're still playing. It's a tie game. So Italy is 2-0, a day off, and they'll get ready for Team USA and Mexico.
Yeah, this pool's kind of shaked out, Pool B, the way we thought it would be. Italy 2-0, they've had a very favorable schedule. Team USA 2-0. Mexico plays the 7 o'clock Central Time Zone game. All three of those teams, Italy, the U.S., and Mexico, undefeated up to this point.
And Great Britain still would like to avoid finishing last and getting relegated. The espresso flowing early in this one. Italy now 2-0. The homers keep coming. They've hit 5 in 2 games. And the Brits, in their final game, will look for a win. 7-4 the final. Rich Waltz, Dan Plesac, John Morosi, goodbye from Houston.